didn't know the hatred for Assault was that deep. Been playing a lot of Operations lately, prestiging all classes, max 2. Ooh, that's really good. Except Assault, so I decided to do it. Long story short, I got kicked from a Ruthless game for being Assault. How did I know it was about being Assault? Well, the host, which was in teen level, no prestige, was spam pinging Armoring Hall. I didn't realize what he was on about till I got kicked, since I have never encountered such an interaction from this game before, even after grinding mostly on Absolute. Alright, yeah, this is kind of insane. So I guess the player was, yeah, spamming where you can switch your class and your weapons and stuff, and then kick the player. I think that's a fair assessment in that situation. However, this is absolutely obnoxious, obviously. This is not something that is common, I will admit. I've ran into players who didn't want to play with Assault players, and normally they just leave the game. That's kind of the sense that I get. But I have seen players get kicked before for playing Assault, but like mainly for clips here and there. I've never been kicked personally for playing that class, at least I don't think I've had. I think I've gotten kicked maybe once, but it was really odd, and it was like a while ago. It felt random. It didn't feel like it was anything I did. But yeah, ultimately, when it comes to this class, I have seen players not want to play with this class. I haven't seen this class get kicked, or at least not in my experience. But that said, I didn't jump into any operations under leveled playing this class. I think when it comes to Absolute 2.0, especially playing this class, I jumped in at fully. I have a fully leveled Prestige 4 Assault ready to go for Absolute 2.0 that is performing pretty well. So there's nothing that stood out to me of players not wanting to play in Operations. The time where I did see some players not want to play with the classes in Siege mode. We're definitely going to break down the reason for that, but it's pretty obvious. It's because of chaos. I went lower this time as I've seen people struggle with Assault, so I had to test it in Ruthless, which is where I get those first level every time I Prestige reset. Okay, so yeah, is this a common occurrence for you for your Assault mains? Yes, definitely not common. 100% not common. And, well, I would say it's probably the cause of most communication breakdowns. As far as in my experience, it definitely feels like players are just not interested in playing with this class in hard Siege mode. Even though a lot of the times when I play this class in hard Siege mode, if you have a good team, nobody complains. It's always the players who are kind of, they're not very confident. They're not very confident. I mean, in this case, it was a player, you said it was a teen level player in Ruthless, so like he could be level 17, level 13, level 19, there's kind of like a wide range there. But if you're fully leveled or decided to do it, so you could have been under leveled maybe for Ruthless. I mean, because he said he Prestige 2 class, except Assault, so I decided to do it. Long story short, I got kicked from a Ruthless game for being the class. So yeah, I'm not 100% sure. This could be like not even a class-centered situation. They could have got kicked because maybe they were under-leveled for Ruthless or something. I'm not sure. But ultimately, this is definitely something that I hope is pretty rare. I have fully Prestige Assault, and this has never happened to me. Maybe I get hate over voice chat, but I disabled that long time ago due to the default hot mic for PS5. Certainly, no one ever complained over text chat. Dude, you know what? That is kind of funny. When it comes to the toxic nature of this game, I haven't really seen that much. Some of the stuff gets amplified, through these posts, and that's why it's always important to dive in to see what's actually going on and everything like that. However, in those cases, someone is being toxic over voice chat. That is definitely something that has happened and that we have talked about. If they are being toxic over voice chat, just turn off voice chat. Okay, you can just leave voice chat, and everyone still has the same goal to complete the operation or to complete the wave in Siege mode. And then, after completing whatever you need to complete, just leave. That's definitely the way to 100% do that. But it's funny, as far as like people like gesturing or like maybe pointing at something repeatedly, any sort of spam actions. The one time I've seen somebody try to communicate with me through, that type of way, it was recently. Somebody was really trying to get me to spend my points on a Guardian Relic in Siege mode. And they kept shooting at me and shooting at the, the reward terminal. And eventually they ended up just buying me a Guardian Relic. And I was like, all right, I'll pick it up at this point. I had enough points for it, which I ended up using my points for, like, the Dread. I forget what I ended up doing. Regardless, that was a pretty interesting experience. That was definitely... Look, I don't recommend doing that, people. Please don't force people to pick up Guardian Relics or anything. I mean... unless it's somebody who absolutely needs it. In the end, I never used it because as far as Wave 15 and normal Siege mode goes, I'm pretty accustomed to the experience there. I've been pretty good with Waves 16 through Waves 20 as well. And in Wave 25, it's also, you know, I'm playing pretty well there also. So Wave 15, regardless, isn't that big of a deal. If it was hard Siege mode and somebody on your team doesn't have a Guardian Relic and maybe, you know, plays within the team's favor for everybody to have a Guardian Relic at a certain moment, I can understand a Guardian Relic to be practically required in that situation, sure. But yeah, they were definitely adamant on me picking up the Guardian Relic. They would not stop. Like every wave, it was like 5 to... It was that's why I'm mentioning it. Don't do that, guys. I understand what they were getting at. I understood I had a lot of points. But yeah, they wasted 300 points on a Guardian Relic that I did not end up using at all, which is unfortunate. I won't kick Assaults when I join Hard Siege, but I drop from that lobby for sure. Assault is dead weight in Hard Siege mode. In Operations, they are still decent, though. Okay. Interesting. And we have also a hot take to follow this one. Yeah, this is basically what I've mentioned. People just not playing Hard Siege mode with Assault players, which is definitely, I feel like, a little bit crazy. I feel like when it comes to Hard Siege mode, maybe most players are looking at Wave 25. You know, maybe Wave 25 is pretty terrible for Assault. As far as what I've experienced with Hard Siege mode, as long as you're playing, like, the most effective Assault build that you can think of, at the very least, it's going to perform well in hard mode. You will notice that it takes a little bit more effort to, you know, keep some leverage within the battle, and playing around your teammates is definitely pretty important as well, but I would say that is important for every class, no matter how good you are. It's just, you know, team synergy overall is also pretty fun to play around with. But okay, yes, don't leave hard siege mode unless you're really not confident. Like, dude, give the Assault player a chance to play through waves 1 through 5. You know, if they go down like 15 times or 3 times or 4 times, whatever, then you can leave wave 5. But to leave a game instantly is pretty crazy. I know when I was making my hard mode push with the Assault class, I got into wave 12, I disconnected, which is unfortunate, but I didn't go down. I didn't go down pretty much that entire time, I believe. I think maybe there's one disconnect moment where I got hit by a sniper, but connections actually have been pretty okay recently, which is cool. I don't know what's been going on with that. Every other day, guys. Every other day, connections can be bad or good, I guess. But okay, when it comes to players leaving the game, yeah, just give them waves 1 through 5. At the very least, you can get some. You can get like a cosmetic at the ends of waves 1 through 5. You're not going to get anything different from going from waves 1 through 5 to doing waves 1 through 5 up to wave 20. Like, the rewards are basically still the same ultimately. However, there's definitely still the wave 15 hard mode reward. So I'd admit that's probably the wave most people are aiming for. So in that sense, I still think hard mode, it depends. Is it Chaos or Tyranids? maybe if you start off the waves with Chaos, then it's a good idea to leave if the Assault is on your team. But no, seriously, give them a chance at least. Like, I feel like most players who are playing the Assault class, jumping into hard mode at this point, probably have a good idea of what they're doing, at least if they're also level 25 Prestige 4. That's crazy. But yeah, in the sense of what we just read in the original post, we don't even know if this player was playing Assault on level appropriate for Ruthless, which is unfortunate, but I think ultimately, you know, Ruthless should be doable for like a teen level Assault class, probably, most likely. I just think people may want easy carries. I joined a Ruthless on my level 1 Prestige 4 Tactical and got kicked. Prestige 4 level 1 for Ruthless, yeah, you're good. You're 100% good, especially if you have relic weapons, which you probably do when you're, what is that? Prestige 4, you're basically level 100, almost, right? Aren't you like a level 125 technically with like 4 prestige, 4 prestige level 25, you know what I mean? That's pretty wild. So I just started my own lobby and people joined in and I moved on with my life. Okay, yeah, there you go. To each their own. I wouldn't take it too personally. Most people who haven't played with you might feel some type of way if you're below a certain level cap. However, I have seen the hard siege mode assault kicking. Okay, so we do have another reported assault player getting kicked from siege mode. Again, in my experience, it's just been players leaving, which we also saw a comment of earlier. Due to it being subpar compared to the meta classes. I'm not saying the assault can't dish out damage or that in the right hands it can carry, just the skill required to be a good assault is high, and many players do not want to risk running 1 to 2 hours on hard mode siege while running the risk of one of their players going down. Remember, assault has no ammo recovery, unlike bulwark, heavy, tactical, and sniper. Sniper has prestige on, prestige. One of their first prestige perks, I think you can get ammo recovery, I believe. The best chance at clearing hard mode is with meta classes. So people want to run with that squad, and if you join with another, they will kick you. Oh, I see. People want to specifically go with bulwark, heavy, and tactical. I'm good. Okay, I like it. I think sniper is pretty good also, but I think bulwark is good too. Bulwark is definitely tanky. I feel like also a lot of times if sniper goes camo, it can kind of disperse aggro in a way that might not favor a different player, but I think that's definitely like very circumstantial. I feel like bulwark at the moment, obviously the range damage is there, but like sniper can put out more range damage, and I also think sniper can potentially live up to the hype of a support class because of Medicaid Adept, where you can get very fast reses. So if you already have heavy and Bonds of Brotherhood with Medicaid Adept and a sniper that can go camo potentially all the time, you could see the sniper pick up players like instantly, and that would be pretty cool. I do think banner's probably pretty strong though for team, especially for your overall team. If you already have tactical and heavy to dish out damage, you might not need another class to dish out damage. But my wave 15 hard mode run was with sniper. It's pretty interesting. I don't really see sniper get played a lot. Okay, yeah. So obviously, people want to run with the meta squads, and if you join with another, they will kick you, especially if it's not your normal friend/squad. I mean, that makes sense. I can understand assault players getting kicked in this circumstance where they're looking to play specifically meta, like 100%. They're looking to jump into hard siege mode with meta to a T, and yeah, there's nothing else that could really be changed. Yeah, I can definitely see assault players getting kicked in that scenario, 100%. I mean, again, I didn't get kicked. I just seen players just leave, but I mean that's kind of unfortunate as well. Again, though, I will repeat myself in this situation because I think this is definitely worth repeating. Let the assault player at least get the wave 5 in hard siege mode. If they don't go down, continue, go to wave 10. If they keep going down, you can always checkpoint yourself for this sort of thing. I do understand it's very important to go to at least have the team that can go to wave 30 on hard siege mode. But like in most cases, I feel like especially here, it kind of felt like going for a meta team kind of starts with some communication before matchmaking. So essentially it's like, hey, I know a good heavy, I know a good tactical, I know a good bulwark, let's go in pure meta. But then in that case, you're not really getting a random queue into the assault class. So I don't know. I think if you got two people who are looking for somebody to push into hard siege mode with randomly, you're going to have to start to give some credit to the Prestige 4 level 25 assault player who may be able to push into wave 25. Let them have a chance at the very least. Holy cow, man. But yeah, okay. That is definitely a circumstance where I can see assault players getting kicked on, which is unfortunate. I kind of wanted to walk away from this one like, oh, nah, this will never happen, but it's definitely probably going to happen in this case. As far as operations go, especially Absolute 2.0, Assault is actually in a pretty good spot. Maybe in Chaos missions, that's probably where the Assault class is not going to have a fun time. That's probably why Siege mode is also pretty tough on the class, because you have Chaos, and potentially you have Chaos on Wave 25, Wave 15. That could be dangerous. I can understand that point. I still think you should let the players go through Wave 1 through 5, Wave 6 through 10, see what they're working with, you know what I mean? But yeah, let me know in the comments if you ran into getting kicked as playing the Assault, which would be very unfortunate. I hope this isn't something that you run into. As far as some of these comments are concerned, it's not ever happening, but I do think this comment does have a point with the situations that they seen themselves, and it does kind of track. If you're looking for a meta team, the worst class in the game for Siege mode probably isn't on that list. At least that's how people view it. But yeah, let me know in the comments how you guys feel about this, and thanks for watching.